Welcome again to our discussion, and this time we're going to tackle our transactional analysis. So we are on the fourth reminder on how to produce accurate journal entries, 100% error-free journal entries. So we have accomplished the business equation. We're already familiar with it, and then we were able to know also the default settings of the different account titles. But I would like to remind everyone that if you want to be familiar with all the account titles, please try to read and read about account titles so that you will be familiar. And then the format of the account title also is also discussed already in the on the previous video. So next this time we're going to tackle transaction analysis. Actually, this is a long video, but I will just um, do this one by batch. Okay, so I have four transactions here, and then after finishing the discussion, I will be posting another four transactions and to have an interaction with you so that if you are interested, I will give some questions on the comment section and then you're going to answer. Okay, and I will acknowledge your name. Okay, the first one, of course, we have here the equal sign here. So in this side here, we have liabilities from owner's equity, and then we have the asset. We have also the transaction here. Okay, so the first transaction, Mr. A invested cash 100,000 in the business. By the way, before I forget, the meaning of transactional analysis is that it will look into the effect of the economic events in the different accounts or elements in the business equation, and then we will try to see, or we will be able to see, that in spite of the many economic events, the equality of the equation remains. So what is the issue here? In other words, if you commit an error in posting or in putting the figure there, even there is a difference of 1 centavo or 10 pesos or whatever, the at the end of the period, when you're going to prepare your financial statements, you're going back again to the records because it will not be balanced. So there is something wrong, no, along in the process. So my advice is that if you are new to accounting, you have to carefully record each of the accounts so that we will not go back again to the first transaction. Review all the accounts, okay, particularly in the process before the making of the financial statements. So now we are ready. Are you ready? I am already ready. The first transaction is Mr. A invested cash 100,000 in the business. So it is the business who will receive, and it is the business also who will give away. Okay, so the business purchase or acquires cash through the investment of Mr. A. So the business received 100,000 cash here. There's an increase in the asset, and then a corresponding increase also is the capital of Mr. A. So it is equal, no? 100,000 on the left, 100,000 on the right. Equality of the business equation remains. Okay, number two, Mr. A bought 10,000 worth tables and chairs worth 10,000 on account. So this time, Mr. A, he was able to apply for an account with a certain supplier of tables and chairs. So on the left side asset, you have here an increase in furnitures and fixtures, 10,000. And there is also an increase of accounts payable under liability of 10,000. So it's equal. Did you get it? Okay, number three, Mr. A bought computer equipment paying cash. So this time, he did not apply for an account, but this time, he used the cash of the business to purchase a computer equipment. So you have here, so in the effect of this transaction it has no effect on the right side, but only on the left side. You have a increase of 10,000 computer equipment and a decrease of cash of 10,000. Now, if you try to look at the board, I am trying to give you an idea that in the transactional analysis, you try to practice putting all the account titles there so that you will be used to it. You will be familiar, no? Little by little. Okay, number 4. Mr. A pays one half of his account. So he has an account here in number 2. So he desires to pay one half of that account. So there is an decrease of cash, 5,000 on the left side, a corresponding decrease of 5,000 also for the accounts payable. Okay? So if you have any question on the fourth transaction, you may write down in the comment section. And if you want a longer explanation, I will be glad to answer you. So we will go now, or we will provide you another set of transaction, and then after that I will give some questions for you to answer. Okay? So thank you so much, and see you on the next slide. Okay, I'm back, and we are now in our fifth transaction. Receive 50,000 from vulcanizing service. So the business of the owner is vulcanizing. Okay, so don't you worry about the account titles, because we will be discussing a little about that after the eighth transaction. No? So we will just try to concentrate first on the transactional analysis. All right. So in this transaction number 5, Mr. A, or the business, received 50,000 from rendering vulcanizing services, and this time he received cash of 50,000. Okay, so what did the business receive? There is an increase of cash 50,000. Okay, so increase of cash of 50,000 on the left side, and there is a corresponding increase also of the owner's equity because of its revenue. So I just placed there vulcanizing service income. And later on, we will discuss also about this account title. There are also some reminders on the account titles that I am very concerned with. Okay, so I will repeat. If the business receive 10,000 of 50,000 cash, the effect there is an increase on the asset and an increase on the owner's equity. So there is still the equality. Okay? Next one, rendered vulcanizing service on account. So this is similar to the fifth account, but this time the owner did not receive any cash, but he allows the customer to be served on account. Meaning to say the customer will pay, or the client will pay late on a later date. Okay, maybe the client is his friend, or rendering or allowing, giving account or service on account is also a strategy of the business to increase its volume of transactions. Okay, so all those things there, we have another subject for that, no? Financial analysis. So I'm just trying to give you a little hint that why is it that the business rendered account to customers where he can require the customer to pay in cash all the time, but accounts or extending accounts to clients is a so-called a strategy to increase its volume of sales. Okay, so actually the effect is just the same, But this time, the only difference is instead of cash, you put there accounts receivable. So this is an account title on customers that you have served, that you have rendered service, but the customer did not pay at that time, but he will just pay on a later date or whatever agreement you have. And on the other side, there is an increase also of the vulcanizing service income in the amount of 10,000. Okay, so the effect is just the same, but it differs only on the amount and on the account because on the first, on the fifth, you have cash. This time, it's accounts receivable. Okay, next. Of course, if you're going to do business, you're going to incur expenses. That is um, a natural occurrence. If you receive income, you're going to spend. So this time you pay rent 10,000 and then insurance also of 5,000. So as we have discussed in the previous slide or previous video that if there's an expense, it is an increase or it is a on the debit side of the accounts or on the owner's equity. So there is an increase of the rent expense and there is an increase also of the insurance expense. But why is it that this is a plus? There is an increase in the rent expense or in there is an increase in the insurance, but that debit entry tends to decrease the owner's equity. That is one of the points that I have given you in the previous videos. So expenses tends to decrease owner's equity. So there is an increase in the expenses, but it will tend to decrease owner's equity. So the effect here is decrease in the owner's equity, even there is an increase. So this will also decrease owner's equity. And there is a decrease also in the cash of 15,000. So you can consolidate. Okay? So next, Mr. A withdraws 10,000 for personal use. That is what I'm telling my students all the time. If you are doing business, your business transaction is different from your personal transactions. So even if it is that it is your money that you have invested in the business, you have to record it. Okay? So there's a proper recording of your withdrawals. So in spite of the fact that Mr. A is the owner of the business, he's still going to record that. And the business, what do you call this? There is a decrease of cash because he gave away the owner 10,000. The business gave away. Okay? So that's the reason why there is a decrease of 10,000 because it's the business who gave Mr. A his 10,000 for personal use. And there is a decrease also. So you have to, there is an increase of Mr. A drawing, but this one will tend to decrease OE or owner's equity. So drawings decreases owner's equity, also the same with expenses. Okay? So I will repeat the other two, the last two. Rent, if there is an increase of the rent, but it tends to decrease owner's equity. So the owner's equity at this side decreases, and it corresponds also to the decrease in the cash on the left side. So that is the same also with the drawings. There is a increase in drawings, but it tends to decrease owner's equity, and then the corresponding decrease also in the cash. Okay? So if you are still in the state of confusion because it is your first time, or you have taken accounting and until now you cannot understand why these drawings and this drawing and these expenses, actually those are Those are some of the transactions that my students can understand also, and they keep asking me, why is it that he is the owner, and then why is it the cash is decreased? Because it is not the owner who is the owner did not receive any cash in that. Or the owner received cash, I mean, the owner received cash, but the business gave away that cash. So, since we are recording for the record of the business, then the business, there is a decrease of cash in the business record. Okay? So, the business gave away also 15,000 to pay for the expenses. And another logic there is that why is it that we're going to debit the expenses, ma'am, when in fact we are paying for that? Because you receive, the business receive benefits. Those are benefits. When you spend something, you are actually receiving benefit. So just try to what do you call this, internalize that, and try to ponder on that, and then later on you will understand, no? So, and you just try to repeat looking or viewing this video so that you will understand. So see you on the next. By the way, before ending the video, I would like to give some questions, or I will allow you to put there some questions in relating to the different discussions that we have. So just write your questions there, and I am willing to answer that on the comment section. Thank you so much, and I hope that you're going to subscribe to this channel so that we will be able to produce more and more videos. And who knows that you can complete a course, and you are ready to um, enroll in the accounting course, or this course, these videos might help you in your assignments. So thank you, and do not forget to communicate if you have some questions. Thank you, and thank you so much, and see you on the next video. Before ending the video, I would like to tell you to look into the next video that I am going to make. This is something about debit and credit. So this is after this video. I hope that you're going to look at that, and this will help you understand more about journal entries. So see you on the debit and credit video. Thank you so much.